afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver. It's Friday. It's the 22nd of April, 2011, and we are doing a live broadcast today. Of course, it would be if it's April 22nd, 2011. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Our telephone number here at Discount Gold and Silver is 1-800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coin needs here at Discount Gold and Silver Trading. Our website, discountgoldandsilvertrading.net, is the original website. Discountgoldandsilvertrading.net is the original website. And, of course, you can use dgscoins.com, the newer one. It still needs to have some work done on it, but it has the basics there. And I guess you can listen to the programs on both websites, discountgoldandsilvertrading.net and DGS for Discount Gold, Silver, Coins with the plural.com. If you have any questions for the program today, you can direct those to Discount Gold and Silver at yahoo.com. That is Discount Gold and Silver at yahoo.com. We do have some questions that came in, maybe just a handful or so. So send them over to us, Discount Gold and Silver at yahoo.com. Well, we don't have any prices to go over. We certainly had a good day yesterday, particularly in gold and silver. Early morning markets, all markets were closed today, and my buyers were using $1 over spot as they were tracking silver around the globe in order to provide some service today. We have Robert Chapman joining us this afternoon from the International Forecaster. Good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon, Melody. First of all, I'm again getting an echo, so if I kind of get garbled, you'll know why.
You sound clear.
And this is something new for the Melody phone, and I think it has something to do with their reception there.
Well, you know what? My phone lines, we have had some very damp weather and cold weather, rainy and snow today. We had snow today, so sometimes that dampness can affect the phone line.
But that's got to get old.
It's very old. The weather.
I mean, I don't think I can ever remember snow in April.
I'm worn out.
It's 85 here today.
Arizona next year, here I go.
It was 65 last night.
Well, maybe I'll go to New Mexico. Someplace warmer. Where are you at, Bob?
I am just south of the moon.
Okay, but it is warmer, right?
Very much so. It's gorgeous.
Well, you might have a neighbor
the food's
next
wonderful,
year.
And everything is just super duper.
You might have a neighbor next year.
Well, we can do anything.
Yeah?
You can operate your business from anywhere.
Yes, I could. I have an assistant here now that could help here in the States as I warm up.
Well, anyway, the big event yesterday was that I bought more silver. That shows you where I'm coming from. I paid $46.29, I think, didn't I?
It was somewhere. I think it was a little bit somewhere around in there. Yes.
Mhm. And now they're quoting $47.50.
Yes, that is correct.
Let me tell you what I think is going to happen here. And I just got off another show. I explained to everybody what I thought. And this is a very unusual situation, born of arrogance and greed. The situation that J.P. Morgan Chase is into, and as well as HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Bank Corporation. And the CFTC and the government agency stood by and allowed all this to happen. They cornered the market on the short side. And they didn't expect to go in, but they were going to get their bluff called. Well, with the help of all you silver buyers out there in the physical market in particular, and in the other markets as well, but particularly the physical market. What you've done is call their bluff. Now, they can't cover. And, you know, I read these nincompoops who write letters, analysts, economists. I mean, I don't know what the heck they're thinking of. I've been doing this for over 50 years, in and out of the market, almost every day, over that span of time. And they're telling us, well, it finally went to 50, so there'll be resistance there. Now, let me tell you something. The people who bought silver in 1980 at the top of the market, and that was 32 years ago, the average age was 55 to 60 years old of people in the market. So, what would they be today?
Dead.
85, 90 years old?
Dead.
All the people who got stuck on the long end, they're dead. Does anybody get it? There is no overhang. Period. It's a lot of misdirection and psychological crap that has been invented by JPM and HSBC and your government, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And these jerks who tell us there's going to be resistance there. It'll go through 50 like it wasn't even there. Where I think there's going to be trouble is 55 to 60. And I'm going to go over this very briefly because it's been on this show before. Now, there's three things that they can do. They can make a partial settlement for cash. They've already admitted they have no silver. None. What do they pay? 30 cents in a dollar? 50 cents in a dollar? Who knows? Or they can totally default. Bingo. That's the end of it. Or they happen to own the Federal Reserve, so maybe the Federal Reserve will come in and they'll pay the money and make everybody whole in cash, not in silver. Now, I don't know which avenue they're going to take, but the level will be $55 to $60. That's my guess as a pro. They go higher than that, they're insane. Okay, how much money's involved? 55 to 60, $140 billion. I don't think the American public's going to like that very well. Not at all. But those are the three things they can do. The third, the Fed paying people off, is the most logical. Number two, partial payment is number two. Number three, default. Now, if they default, or even partially default, futures trading in silver and maybe gold will stop on the COMEX and the LBMA in London. All of the outstanding options on gold and silver and all the derivatives will be worthless, or worth maybe 30% of what they were before, or 50%. Who's holding piles of options, derivatives, and futures? Exchange-traded funds called SLV and GLD. And so I think they got a problem if that happens. And they're going to have a problem, maybe not as terse, if the Fed pays off. And I'll tell you why. Because people are going to say, I ain't going to do that anymore. I mean, they knew what Morgan and HSBC were doing. The CFTC was part and parcel of this whole thing. They aided and abetted the situation. And so I am not going to go into the futures, options, derivatives, and SLV and GLD anymore. That means all the money in silver in particular and gold will go into the physical market and to the stocks, where they should have been in the first place. And I think SLV and GLD will cease to trade. How far is this away? Maybe 2 to 3 weeks. All depends on how fast we get up there. When these people see, these criminals on Wall Street, when they see what's happening to the price of silver, and they just blast right to $50 like it wasn't even there. I mean, they're terrified. And they're not only terrified about that, because that whole thing could blow sky high. And no matter which way you cut it on silver, it's going to pop after they decide to make a settlement. So let's say it's $58. Bingo. You get $80, maybe higher. And then it'll come back and fill and that sort of thing, which is normal. And then you'll have, let's say it goes to 88, and it'll back and fill down to 70 or 65, and you'll have a new base level. But that doesn't mean you should try to trade this stuff, because you're not smart enough to do that. And quite frankly, neither am I in these kinds of markets. So you don't do that. You go along and you stay along, you wait for the correction, and maybe you get some more money, go buy some more. Because silver's going to go to $200, $300, $400, $500, somewhere up there. So what do you care? I mean, you're making goo-gobs of money. I mean, I get letters. I had maybe 150 emails just this morning. Oh, Bob, what do I do? I just have made $1.2 million. Should I switch to this or go to that? They're all excited. And they should be. You do what you're doing. Leave it alone. Don't get greedy. You're in the biggest bull market in the history of mankind. Why do something you don't know anything about? If I think you should do that, I'll tell you. I'm the pro here, and I've been right all the way. A lot of you people have made a fortune. And I know that because you tell me. Now, this is bringing about some other things that I discussed this morning when I was on with Alex Jones. And he told me, he said, Bob, Kissinger, Brzezinski, and Soros are terrified. This whole thing is out of hand. He said, we've been told by our sources that the U.S. government is going to invade Libya because they want it as a base of operations. And there's going to be more turmoil in the Middle East, and they're getting ready for a big war. Now, if that happens, your gold and silver related assets are going to be worth far, far more than they are today. And I hope all you people who have been successful do a number of things. Number one, you got to have plenty of dehydrated and freeze-dried foods in your home, a water filter, and make sure you have an assault weapon, an AR-15 or an AK-47. It's very important. Every weapon should have 1,000 rounds of ammo and 10 30-shot clips. That will last you 4 to 5 minutes on semi-automatic in a firefight. Been there, done that. So take some of that money and do that if you haven't done it, or bolster it. And try to convince everybody you can to do the same thing. And then try to help people who have lost their job. They get kids. They're on there behind financially. Give them a few bucks. Give them a helping hand. I know you're not the government, but God's been good to you. Think about it. You're supposed to help each other if you can, and you should do that. But the bad guys, they're terrified. And I say, like I say on every show, we are going to take you all to trial, convict you, put you in jail, take all of your assets away from you, destroy your clubs, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberger Group, the Illuminati. Your day and your game is over. And those of you who have committed treason will be executed. And we're coming. And this time, it's not going to be Mr. Nice Guy.
I saw, Bob, where Gordon Brown might be ready to take over the, I think it was the IMF.
They turned him down.
Did they turn him down?
Yeah. And the reason why, he's got such a rotten record internationally. I mean, they saw what he did, sold off 3/4 of the British people's gold.
Yeah.
He lost them 11 billion pounds, which is about $15 billion. No, $16 billion. No, $17 billion. That's what they lost. Now, you ain't got to get anything. Besides, he's a child molester and a blatant homosexual.
Yeah, but aren't they all?
I just thought I'd throw it in for good measure.
Yeah, but aren't they all?
Most of them are, yes, that's true.
So I wouldn't think that would happen.
The Bushes and Tony Blair and Mendelsohn, the Rothschilds. Believe me, these are some sick people.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you have all that money.
You know, the Rothschilds are probably going to drop their subscription after hearing me on this program. They're not going to be very happy with me. Then again, they hate me anyway. They just want to see what I got to say. We're coming for them.
Here's the
we
question.
We have to have the law on our side.
Here's the question, Bob. And folks, if you have any questions, go ahead and send them to discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. That is discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. And let's go ahead and pull up a question here.
Pull it up. Come on, pull it up.
All right. Do you have any questions, Robert?
I have none.
All right.
Nobody loves me on Good Friday.
Uh-oh. I hope we have listeners out there today.
Yeah, we're giving up our Good Friday Day. We should be praying at the church or something.
What I did find interesting, though, is they have all those major fires down in Texas, and I think it was wonderful that the governor said that people need to pray for rain, and I just...
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yes, absolutely.
It certainly can't hurt anything, and if he's listening, which he always is, he'll make that decision.
Yep. This is in from Tim. He imagines that the establishment would love to carry this economy through the 2012 election. Do you think it's possible, probable, or impossible to carry things like they are through 2012?
Possible. I think with all of the information that's been released recently, on top of us dogging this pervert who calls himself the President of the United States, there's a book coming out maybe next week. It's on Amazon. I saw it this morning for sale. It goes into his Kenya citizenship, etc.
Jerome
and a whole bunch of other stuff. This guy's doomed. They're going to take him down. And I think this book, plus what this Donald Trump has been saying, I mean, the guy's a billionaire. Everybody listens to him. I mean, they don't listen to us. We've been saying it for 2 years. In fact, I saw a article in the Chicago Tribune 1994 saying citizen of Kenya becomes U.S. Senator.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is nothing new. I wish Skolnick was still alive. He would have loved this.
Hey, Bob, I don't mean to interrupt, but you know what? I wanted to ask you this question about, I guess there was some kind of plane problems with Michelle Obama.
I think it's all lies.
Well, and then yesterday they canceled her, I guess she was scheduled to go someplace today for Earth Day. Today's also Earth Day, to speak or something like that, and that was
Well, maybe she was going to the center of the Earth.
Maybe.
Look, it's all a scam. They want to federalize those employees is what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. It's just like the S&P thing. They want to push and make an excuse for Congress to cut Medicare and Social Security. The 24 and 23% of the federal budget. But what they don't talk about is 26%, 26.3%, which is the military spending. And it's on budget. Can you imagine what's off budget?
Yeah.
So what is it, 50%? They don't want to cut that. These nincompoops think they're going to have wars forever. I don't know what the military thinks of this, but they're not very happy. When they start another war, they can have a coup in their hands in Washington. I don't think it's something they thought about. But I do know they're running scared. We're breathing down their neck, and they're terrified. Because they think we're all stupid. Well, they teach at Harvard and Princeton and all of these la-di-da places, and they work on Wall Street, and they run banks. And let me tell you something. There are millions of Americans, millions of people throughout the world who are far smarter than they are. And there's only a handful of them. I was accepted to Harvard when I was in the 9th grade. So obviously I'm not dumb. I didn't go to school there because I wanted to go where I belonged, with the rest of the lower middle class. I was poor. And I was a great scholar, and I was a great hockey player, too. But the point is, I wasn't comfortable with those people. The rich are different. That's a saying. But it's true. I learned lots from these people. As I caddied, starting at around 9 years old. And I learned, and I learned, and I learned. But I also learned they're different. And that's just the way it is. And don't ask me why it's that way. It just is.
Just is. And we're just about at the bottom of the break. I just want to say that P.S. Tim had on that question. He says he has personally done business with Melody at Discount Gold and Silver Trading, and he would personally recommend her and her business to all who are listening.
He's lying. He's lying.
Hey, knock it off. It's Good Friday. Be nice. We'll be right back, folks. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. You are listening to Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver Trading on Melody Cedarstrom. Our telephone number is 1-800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coin needs here at Discount Gold and Silver Trading. If you would like a complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, please give us a call on our 800 number. And Bob, would you like to tell us about the International Forecaster, please?
It's about business, finance, economics, social, and political issues all over the world. We publish on Wednesdays and Saturdays by email. Runs around 40 pages each time, and we have a hard copy that goes out twice a month for those who are not on the Internet. Everything that you need to know each week is in the International Forecaster. If you'd like to get a free introductory copy, you can go to theinternationalforecaster.com. The International, Forecaster.com. You can also go to www.intforecaster.com, intforecaster.com. Or if you have a question, which we answer them all, or if you'd like to get a free copy, or if you'd like our latest releases in gold and silver shares, email us at Bob, B-O-B, at intforecaster.com, Bob at intforecaster.com, or you can call toll-free.
Yes, you can, at Discount Gold and Silver Trading. What am I doing? 800. I got Easter eggs and bunnies on my mind. 800-375-4188.
It's the snow.
It is the snow.
800-375-4188. Toll free.
Thank you. 800-375.
What would you do without me?
I don't know.
You'd probably get married again.
Oh my! Don't you leave me. 800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, and also for your gold and silver coins. Give us a call at 800-375-4188. You can send us an email at discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. Discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. And our website, discountgoldandsilvertrading.net, discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. I just received some information in the mail today from a longtime client, and we consider a friend. She keeps us updated, and she sent some information over because I mentioned on the program where I had purchased some cans of chicken and beef. And she purchases from a place called Lehman's also. They're actually in Ohio, where they also have turkey and pork that is canned. I haven't been able to compare prices, but they also have homemade noodles and barbecue beef, and they also have soup bases. And I believe it's natural. I guess they try to, all their meats and broths contain no artificial ingredients or added water, and are minimally processed here in Ohio. So I don't know if they have a website. I didn't. They do have a phone number, so you can call them for a catalog. And I know she did her research on it. The phone number is 877-438-5346. That's 877-433-5346.
Toll free.
And yes, it's toll free. It's not the place where I purchase my cans of meat, but I trust her, and so I know she wouldn't lead any of us astray. So I would think it's a very good place to purchase, and they have all kinds of noodles, and again, they have the pork and turkey too. And I can bring you further information on where I purchased mine, but it is a great item to have if you're looking to buy some, keep that protein along, and it's a great way for soup bases, casseroles, things like that, where you can really serve lots of people at one time. Here is, hi Bob, will the CME and the CFTC suffer an impact when the silver naked short situation blows up? And would this impact any other commodities traded through CME, such as the agricultural commodities and other markets?
Let's take this in two parts, and you'll repeat the second part later.
Okay.
The first part is the answer is yes. Under a partial silver payoff, what you would have is default on futures, contracts, on the COMEX, maybe on the LBMA as well. The gold and silver options would collapse. The derivatives would collapse. SOV and GLD would collapse. A default, same thing, only worse. If the Federal Reserve stepped in and paid all the bills, you wouldn't have that collapse. You'd have a suspension of trading for a time, and you would have a lot of people wanting to file a lawsuit because they're not being paid in silver or gold, if it affects gold. They're getting paid in cash. They don't want cash. Now, there may never be silver and gold trading again on the COMEX or LBMA, which would affect their derivatives and the options, again. And then again, even if they had it again, how many people would want to go in and play in those markets knowing if they wanted to take delivery, they may, for a second time, not be able to get silver, maybe even gold delivery. So the ramifications are big, and they don't know what to do. They're running around in circles. We have bagged them this time. Oh, I should say they bagged themselves. We just gave them a shove over the edge. And you can thank Max Kaiser more than anybody for that. And, of course, the years Ted Butler told people the truth. The problem with Ted Butler is not his intellect. He does not have the killer instinct. He will not come out and say, these guys are a bunch of criminals. They ought to all be in jail. Which is the truth. But Ted, I guess he's too much of a gentleman, or maybe he likes living. Because these people kill people. But anyway, Max is fearless, just like I am.
In order to have a unit of trade backed by gold, if they have the world currencies baskets or whether if gold is used, which I believe it will be, wouldn't they have to eliminate it from trade? Wouldn't they have to take it off the exchanges?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I mean, we had gold back and we had free trading. Not for very long, but we had it happen recently, in the last 40 years. The second part of that question, will it affect other commodities on the exchanges, such as the COMEX and the LBMA? And the answer is yes. How much is hard to gauge. But the precedent of default or partial default or the Fed having to pay everybody off in cash, and you can't get your silver, and maybe you can't get your gold. Maybe you spread the platinum and palladium too, for all I know. I mean, this is a big deal here. This is no small potatoes. And no matter what happens, even if they keep trading, the volumes will drop precipitously in the spot market, and physical gold and silver would take over, and probably eventually platinum and palladium as well. And that's good. And that means the ETFs that deal in gold and silver, they're going out of business, no matter which way you cut it. So if you got money in there, I know you made a lot of dough in there, get out. Go to the gold and silver, coins, bullion, and shares. Combination, whatever. So we've answered that question. Next.
When do you think the U.S. and Israel plan on attacking Iran? Will this primarily
that's a hard one.
be
If
an
I had to guess, if it's not this summer, it'll be the following summer. I mean, they got to take over Libya, and they got to, put down the governments that they don't want in the Middle East. Maybe another year, but maybe now. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they know. all I know is I wouldn't want to be Gaddafi because they're going to whack him because he knows too much.
Will this primarily, do you think it'll be primarily an aerial attack against Iran?
They're going to put military people on the ground. They can't win that battle solely from the air. And it certainly helps, but you got to have people on the ground. And his troops are no match for professional American or NATO troops. I don't know. American troops, yes. Germans won't send any troops. So they got French troops, forget it. I mean, look, already NATO once has bombed the rebel troops instead of the other guys. I mean, how dumb can you get?
What Iranian assets will be the main target of the attack?
Well, I think the main thing will be to steal their gold and their oil. But they only got 15 years of production. And, you know, they've been working towards nuclear. And even if they got nuclear and wanted to build a reactor, would they really do it now? I mean, you know, GE was the one who designed these things going back 40 years.
Back in Japan. Mm-hmm.
And that's right. And who's designed theirs? I don't know. I mean, I don't know that the Russians are any safer. And as I said before, maybe the Chinese have got the idea using a thorium breeder reactor, if they're going to do it at all. I mean, who knows? I think nuclear is semi-dead.
Well, that's what they wanted to do so they could go green. So, where do you think that the stock market will be in the next 6 to 12 months?
Probably down. How down, I don't know, but we're going to get a correction at least to 10,000 on the Dow from some level up here. It might be 14,000, it might be 13.5, it might be where it is. Don't know. All I know is I wouldn't be in there. You know, I mean, I buy silver and gold. I think people who are in the market is foolish except for the gold and silver shares. And those people are going to make a fortune. I had a long talk with one of the presidents of one of the companies this morning, and it's interesting, you know, he owns lots of stock, needless to say. But he also owns lots of gold and silver. And so he's diversified.
What will the government do if Obama is forced out due to the information coming out? How will they handle this, and how would it affect the people of this country?
What information?
About Obama.
Him personally?
What will the government do if Obama is forced out due to all the information?
Well, they'll have Joe Biden, who's a nitwit. So maybe they'll off him. I mean, who knows? There's nothing beyond these people, and they're animals. And, you know, who knows who's going to be in next election? Or will there be one? I mean, who knows? Everything's up for grabs. That's why it's so important for you to have the things that I've outlined earlier in the program, and I've outlined every program for the last almost 7 years now.
I believe so.
I'm glad you were 29 when I met you.
Well, I'm glad I was too. Here's a question. Do you think that they will raise margin requirements to 100% to stop the silver bull market in its tracks?
No, they're not going to do that, but they will raise margins, and they'll do it frequently. What they're not considering is, we're not talking about people buying 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 contracts. We're talking about people have no trouble taking physical delivery. And somebody's got to tell me, why would you be in the futures market if it was 100% collateralized? You just go and buy the silver. Come on. There's a point of diminishing returns in this thing. But they are going to raise margin requirements. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do it on Monday. They're going to do it. They're crooks. Do you understand? They're financial terrorists.
This is in from David. He says, by mere and utter coincidence, we usually see retail prices, fuel, food, etc., drop off a bit during the election period. This time around, however, just as central planning prepares to enter the initial phase of pre-production planning, we see an across-the-board surge in retail pricing. Should we expect this rising price trend to continue right through the upcoming election?
I don't know, but I do know it'll continue through the end of the year. It all depends on crop production, because the increase in prices and commodities on the commodity exchange is going to continue. I mean, there's nothing to stop it. It's a flight to quality. People are getting away from paper and into things. They've been doing it now for several years. And now there's a big buildup. So the answer is commodity prices will be higher next year because of what's going on in the commodity market. It might not be as bad if we have record bumper crops. Well, we have, good results from mining or whatever. It's a hard call, but prices will be higher. How much, I don't know.
And here's a statement, and it's from Hal. He says, Melody, I'm sure glad he bought silver from you a few weeks ago.
100 years ago.
He's curious about the premiums on his gold coins. When he purchased them, he paid a fair premium. You might mention occasionally on the show what the premiums are versus spot for the likes of Swiss francs, American eagles, quarter ounce, British sovereigns, and so forth. He'd just like to know what his current gain might be, and he always found that my prices are fair. I'll have to bring that to you. Since the markets were closed today, I didn't see any point in doing it. We'll have to bring that to you on Monday. But a lot of those coins are melt value coins, maybe with a little bit of premium based on the time frame. And, we've had the situations over in Europe, so those Europe coins, those Europe coins are have a little bit more premium on them at times. So a lot is based on supply and demand also. But to do a quick check of what you have, you can just base it on spot, and that'll give you a good price. Let's see, what's the next question here? We have already done that one. I saw a video, Bob, about a guy talking about how the quarterly reporting, a lot of this information of that bailout money that has gone to a lot of these foreign countries was based on production, was based on, some sort of increase in GDP around the world on the various places that the funds were given to help bail them out through, their difficult times. But now that Japan had its earthquake, and a lot of that supply that comes out of Japan for various components and computers and electronics and so forth, that once those first quarterly earning reports come after that, that basically the markets will implode because the quarterly reporting, they can't hide anything. Do you agree with any of that?
I do. In the second half of the year, profits are going to be down substantially.
Well, he's given, I think his time frame was like somewhere around July.
Well, July would have reporting for the second quarter. We'll usually start around the 15th.
So at the end of the year, where do you see gold this year and silver?
2,000. Silver's hard to tell. 80 or 100.
Joe,
we could easily, right after a move to 1650, we could have a rally, by September, October that could take it to 2,000.
A lot of people are buying 90% silver, and Joe said that he ran across an article that said 90% silver coins, $1,000 face value bags, supposedly weighing around 750 ounces, can be as low as 659 due to wear of coin. If they're really sending you worn-out coins, slicks, I suppose. That's a pretty big spread, and I don't know how you can even get that low on a really worn-out bag. But 715 ounces is already based on a VG Plus bag condition coins in which we sell, and also we include weight on that. So it's a combination of things that give you that 715 ounces of silver that the price is based on. If you have an uncirculated bag, you're looking at 720, and even if you have a good condition bag, you're probably looking at about maybe 710, So, it takes a lot of wear to get off, 5 ounces or so. So taking it all the way down to 659 is pretty low. So I'm not quite, I'd have to see the whole article, but there's other things other than just the wear that goes into, figuring out the amount of silver in a bag. And, of course, weight is one. So with a combination of condition and the weight, no, you're getting 715 ounces of silver.
Well, my answer to that question is you don't have a problem if you sell back to the person you bought from.
That's right.
And in barter, nobody knows what the weight is anyway.
And I think, too, there's a lot of people out there, Bob, who like just the 1 pure ounce coin for barter, to use for that situation. So there is no question on the amount of silver that's in the coin. And that's why it's also very important to buy quality coins.
Yes.
It's very important to buy quality. You don't buy that slicked out stuff. Just like these walking liberties. A lot of these people, they sell them for $22, $23, and they're only in VG condition. So, you want pay the extra money to pay something for a little. You don't have to go into the uncirculated, when we're dealing with silver. Yes, your Silver Eagles are uncirculated and so forth. But it always cracks me up. I have people call me and say, well, your Silver Eagles circulated. Folks, Silver Eagles were never circulated. Did you ever take them to the store and spend them? No, I call them used. They've been owned. They've been pre-owned, but they were never circulated. So, it's, again, it's to get more money out of you. The fact is, Silver Eagles were never circulated. So, it's just, it's really kind of interesting, but it's interesting, too, that our hour is up, and
oh my God.
we be done. We be done for the weekend. Any special plans, Bob, for Easter?
Oh, just church and golf.
Mm-hmm.
And eating some good meals. I've been eating fish about 3 times a week, and the other, usually chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm turning into a pollo.
A pollo? Well,
Pescado pollo.
Well, you've always been a pearl in my book.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, folks. You're listening to Financial Survival, 1-800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coin needs and your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster. May each and every one of you have a blessed holiday, a happy Easter to you, and to you, Bob. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and again, thank you all for being with us today. We enjoyed being on the air, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye, Bob.
Bye-bye.